think stereotypes have a profound influence on us. I think no matter what, and it doesn't matter in what venue. I mean, we want to see role models that are like us. We want to see people that are like us, and we want to have a sense of what we are. There are some stereotypes that are historical and quite disturbing, but they're there. So they're part of the cultural gene pool, if you will.
It is a type of programming, a mental programming that's instilled in us since, from our upbringing. I don't know, I guess these erroneous perceptions of people is what keeps us from like getting to know other cultures or getting to know other people.
I think some students, if they feel like they are like underprivileged, seems like more, if they don't feel like they have the same opportunities as others at their home because of what they hear, like we don't have a computer, or we don't have this. The lack of resources, I think, is something that hinders their progress in school. The other thing that I see is sometimes underprivileged students don't have the same opportunities and experiences, and they have more of a limited vocabulary.
I think there's some classic stereotypes that you see. I mean, there's some older things that come out of some sort of faulty brain research that suggests, that certain races are smarter than others. Look at it. There's even a stereotyping of sex too, that in age, which you see sometimes. Is you'll see like it's like we grasp hold of like a piece of research somewhere, and even though it might be faulty research, we want to live by it.
Since we're Latinos, or since we come from a difficult background, that we're not going to succeed as the rest of the kids. So like stereotypes as, Mexicans aren't educated, or we don't go to college, or, we're just made to have kids. It really does, at many times it's a joke, but it really does affect you.
I think the stereotype that Hispanics don't do well because they aren't as capable, I think is actually a misnomer. Because what I see in the classroom and what I see when I meet with the parents is that many of the Hispanic parents that did not have the opportunity for higher education, they want that for their child. So they're willing to go the extra mile.
Okay. No, I don't think so. I think that most of your stereotypes are faulty. I mean, it's like saying that all people from a certain country are a certain way. Well, that's insane. And they've been raised in a cultural environment that creates a certain type of person, but that doesn't mean that they're all the same. It's like saying we're clones. Well, a minority statistical, I guess you look at it that way. I mean, a minority statistically would be a group that is not in the majority. So that can, but the weird part is that it's, sometimes you put all the minorities together, they actually outnumber the majority. Right? So if the majority is 37%, and all the other minorities add up to 63%, well then the majority is never the majority.
I think in this country, minority is anybody that's not a straight white male. I think that's, and especially right now with this new government, I think that's even more prominent and more visible. People may deny it, but it's there. And
I think there's still a nasty fit for society. I think that as much as we might think we know more on the internet, through our social media, we think we know more, we think we have a wider scope of friends. I think we end up narrowing our scope of friends down to people that fit what we want to say and think. So I think that's a danger.
I believe that these stereotypes have gotten out of control. I mean, during the elections, when they were saying, oh, Mexicans are all rapists or Mexicans are all drug dealers, I mean, that is not true. I mean, people have come to this country that's made it up. I mean, workers and students and people that really care about this country, that's not necessarily true. I think stereotypes are such a big issue that they're not stereotypes anymore. They're racist views that people see, like, someone walking down at the wrong time and think, oh, this person is, ghetto, or this person, what are they up to? Like, I don't know. I just feel like America's going backwards. Well, it's obvious that the growth for minorities, I mean, right now, what's going on with all the deportations and all this kind of stuff, I mean, it's affecting not only the people that are undocumented, but people in general. You know, people are getting more, how can I say, resentful of the fact that there's so much junk going on around us. And of course, the students that are a minority, I mean, I've had a lot of students ask me, like, Senora, what's it going to happen? What's going to happen to the residents? Or what's going to happen? I mean, we have people like, you know, the Secretary of Education that has no idea what she's doing. And you have all these kids going to college, and you're like, is there going to be money for me? I can't afford it. What's going to happen? I mean, if all these benefits are going to the wrong hands, I mean, what's going to happen? What's going to happen to education, to the kids that really need the help? I mean, who's really going to get educated? I just feel that this society is becoming elitist, if anything. What's going to happen to the middle class? You know, what's going to happen to the poor? I mean, we don't know. I mean, we're just kind of waiting. It's more of a waiting game nowadays. I truly feel for the students. I truly feel for the students nowadays. I just feel that their struggle is just beginning. And I hope that my recommendation to any parent is start saving for your kid's future, because it's not looking very bright, you know, government-wise.